Okay. Good evening, future CPAs. Good evening. So first, let's start muna with a prayer, no? So para may gabay tayo ni God kapag mag-review na tayo. Okay. So in the name of the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Spirit, amen. So Lord, I know you are with me and love me. Give me peace of mind as I prepare for this type of study. Give me insight that I might understand what I am studying and help me to remember it when the time comes. So in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So good evening, guys. So this is Red Christian and Palustre, Certified Public Accountant, Certified Tax Technician. So before tayo mag-start, magbibigay muna ako sa inyo ng konting background about sa akin. So yun nga, nakita nyo na I'm from Manila Titana Colleges and I am currently a senior tax, I am currently a financial accounting and reporting senior analyst sa generic. So pag ako nagre-review ako or kapag kailangan kong mag-aral ng isang topic, so I'm always looking at quotes para ma-motivate ako before ako mag-start mag-aral. And I have one quote for you for tonight. So here's the quote. So according to Henry Ford, obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off the goal. So ang sabi ni Henry Ford, kailangan daw pala lagi kang nakafocus dun sa goal mo. And what is our goal? Kung bakit tayo nag-aaral ngayon? Our goal is to become CPAs in the future. So yan ang ilalagay nyo sa lagi kapag before kayo mag-start mag-review. So I need to focus on my goal. I need to be a CPA. So I need to study well. So okay, guys? Okay. So let's start our discussion about statement of cash flows. So statement of cash flows is one of the components of our complete set of financial statements. So we have statement of financial position, statement of comprehensive income, statement of cash flows, statement of changes in equity, and yung pinakadulo is notes to financial statements. Okay? Okay. So what are the objectives kung bakit kailangan gumawa ng isang company? That's statement of cash flows. So the objective is to present information about the historical changes in cash and cash equivalents of an entity during the period classified by operating, ayan, so operating, investing, and financing activities. Okay, magsulat tayo. Ayan. So dito makikita nyo na sinasabi, nahahati siya sa tatlong parts. So ano yung mga part na yon? Yung operating, investing, and financing. Yan kasi yung tatlong major na category kung saan tumatakbo yung isang company. Okay? So this information is particularly useful kanino? Sa mga investor, sa mga creditors, and other users of financial statements. Para sa una, evaluating an entity's ability to generate cash and cash equivalents and the timing and certainty of their generation. So paano nga ba nakaka-generate ng cash and cash equivalents? Saan nanggagaling yung mga cash niya? Pangalawa, evaluating an entity's financial structure. So dito mo makikita yung ability ng company na liquidity niya. Ano ba pag sinabi natin liquidity? Ang liquidity is yung pagiging available ng cash in a short term or yung pagiging available ng cash in the near term to be used for our working capital requirements. So yung mga current natin na obligation. So yun, kailangan natin ng mga liquid na cash. And its ability to meet its obligation and to pay dividends. Pangatlo, understanding the reason for the difference between profit or loss for a period and the net cash flow. Kasi yung nakikita natin sa profit or loss, yung net income natin, based yan sa accrual accounting. So meaning for accrual, meron diyang mga items na non-cash. For example, depreciation, di ba? Ang depreciation naman natin ay hindi cash. Wala namang cash na lumabas sa'yo. And napapasama siya sa computation of profit or loss mo. So it is a way to see the difference between profit or loss and your net cash flow from operating activities. So next, comparing operating performance of different entities. So dyan mo kasi makikita yung pagkakaiba. Kunwari, malaki yung income ng isa, maliit yung income ng isa. Pero, yun pala, kaya malaki yung income ng isa kasi accrual basis yung gamit niya. Pero wala pa naman siya natatanggap na cash. So parang dun mo makita kung sino yung mas kumikita talaga na company. Kasi pwedeng yung mga accrual or yung mga accounts receivable hindi niya makolekta, di ba? As compared dun kay company na nakolekta niya na agad yung cash. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, dyan mo makikita yung difference ng dalawang entities. And lastly, enabling its user to develop models to assess and compare the present value of future cash flows of different entities. Okay? So, yun ang mga objectives ng paggawa natin ng statement of cash flows. Next naman, ayan. What are the classifications of cash flows? So first, punta muna tayo sa unang classification, operating activities. So operating activities. Cash flows for operating activities are in general the cash effects of transactions and other events relating to operating or trading activities. So ito yung basic or parang sa lahat ng companies, laging merong operating activities. Hindi pwedeng walang operating activities kasi meaning kapag walang operating activities, hindi tumatakbo yung company. Meaning, hindi ka nag-earn ng income. So, kailangan may operating talaga. So, there will always be operating activities. Net cash flow from operating activities represents the net increase or decrease in cash resulting from the operations of company. So mamaya sabihin ko kung ano nga ba yung mga transaction or operating transactions ng isang company. So may dalawang method tayo. Ayan. Meron tayong dalawang methods para mag-report ng net cash flow from operating activities. Una, yung direct method natin. Pag direct method, kaya siya tinawag na direct. Meaning, kinukuha natin yung cash receipts and cash payments or yung cash na pumasok sa company and cash na lumabas or pinambayad natin. Including, in particular, cash receipts from customers, sa mga customers natin. Cash payments o yung mga binayad natin sa binila natin ng goods para ibenta or sa mga suppliers natin. And cash payments to and on behalf of our employees. Kasi minsan sa employees, nag-a-advance tayo sa kanya, di ba? Minsan umuutang siya sa atin or minsan nag-a-advance siya sa atin sa mismong company. So yan, kasama rin yun. Aggregating to the net cash flow from operating activities. So next naman, kung may direct, may indirect method. And yung indirect method starts with profit before tax. So pag sinabing profit before tax, yan yung makikita mo sa statement of comprehensive income. And i-adjust mo lang yun. Paano mo siya i-adjust? I-adjust mo siya for those non-cash charges. Pag sinabi kasing non-cash charges, yan yung mga ginamit mo na transactions or amounts sa pag-compute ng profit or loss mo. Pero di ba nga kasi yung ibang amounts doon, hindi siya cash basis, accrual basis siya. Meaning wala ka talagang tinanggap na cash or wala kang binayad na cash. Therefore, kailangan i-adjust mo siya. And credits to reconcile it to the net cash flow from operating activities. Okay? So sa next slide, ito. Ayan. So ito yung mga transactions na classified under operating. At a minimum, sabi, the following classes of cash receipts and payments should be separately reported. Una, cash receipts from sale of goods and rendering of services. So pag sinabing cash receipts, natanggap mo na pera sa pagbebenta mo ng goods or pag-render mo ng services. Cash receipts from interest, mga interest na na-receive mo, interest income. Dividend, mga dividend na na-receive mo, kasama rin yan. Pangatlo, cash receipts from other operating activities. Pag sinabing other operating activities, andyan yung mga royalties, fees, commissions, other revenue. Lahat yan kasama sa operating activities mo. So next naman, bukod sa mga cash na natanggap mo, kasama rin sa operating activities yung mga cash na binayad mo. Kanino? Kay supplier, goods and services. Ito, cash receipts and cash payments of an enterprise insurance sa mga binayad mo sa insurance para sa insurance premium. and sa annuities, and sa other policy benefits. Next, cash payments or refunds of income tax. So yung mga binayaran mong income tax and yung mga natanggap mong refunds ng income tax, kasama yan under operating activities. Next, cash payment for interest. So yan, yung mga interest na binayaran mo, kunyari may utang ka, binayaran mo yung interest, kasama yan, cash payment for interest under operating. Next, cash payment and receipts from contracts held for dealing or trading purposes. Basta may kinalaman sa trading or dealing in your ordinary course of business, lahat yan under operating. Lahat ng matanggap mong pera or lahat ng ilabas mo na pera, basta may kinalaman sa operating activities mo or normal course of business mo, lahat yan, papasok mo sa operating activities. So next naman. Yan. So ito na yung formula kung paano natin mako-compute yung cash flow from operating activities. Ang sabi ni International Accounting Standards, nag-encourage siya pero hindi niya nire-require. So meaning pwede mo pa rin gamitin the use of direct method. So kailangan daw direct method. I-encourage niya, direct method yung gamitin niyo. Yung isa kasi natin indirect. So paano ba indirect method? So di ba ang direct method, madali lang. Lahat ng cash na natanggap mo, sulat mo. Lahat ng cash na nilabas mo, isulat mo din. Tapos, yung difference nun, yun yung net cash flow from operating activities mo. So, cash payments and cash received. Ganun lang kadali yung direct. Pagdating sa indirect, the principal advantage of indirect is that it highlights the difference between reported profit and net cash flow. Kasi magkaiba yan. Tulad nga nasabi ko kanina, ang i-report mo na profit, magkaiba yan dun sa net cash flow mo from operating activities. Bakit? Kasi nga may mga net cash. So ang gagawin natin, from accrual basis profit, ayan, accrual basis profit, yung profit mo na nasa statement of comprehensive income mo, i-add mo si non-cash expenses. Ano ba itong mga non-cash expenses? Depreciation expense. Naglagay ka ng expenses pero non-cash siya. Wala kang nilabas na pera pero nag-record ka ng expense. Next, ibawas mo si non-cash income. Ano yung mga non-cash income mo? For example, ang pinakamagandang sample nitong non-cash income is, kunwari, may mga ano ka, may mga income from investment, diba? Yung investment income mo. Ang investment income mo, wala ka natanggap na cash. Pero may income ka. Nireport mo siya for your profit purposes. So meaning dapat i-less mo siya kasi wala ka naman natanggap talaga sa investment income. Okay? So next naman, add decreases in current assets. Ito, ang magandang way para matandaan mo siya. Kapag current assets, yan, kapag assets, yung change sa asset, inverse. Kapag yung change, for example, so si accounts receivable, okay, pag nag-decrease ang accounts receivable from last year to ngayon, kapag nag-decrease siya, i-add mo siya. Bakit? Kasi ang nangyari, kaya nag-decrease yung accounts receivable mo, meaning, marami ka nang natanggap na pera. Okay? Pero, hindi siya papasok sa profit mo. Bakit? Kasi pumasok siya sa profit mo nung time na nag-record ka ng accounts receivable plus yung sales. Okay? So, parang hindi siya mare-reflect doon sa profit mo as part of your cash. Parang hindi siya mare-report dun sa profit mo as part na nakatanggap ka ng cash. So, kailangan i-add mo siya. Next naman, ang ileless mo, yung increase. Bakit ka nag-increase? Tingnan mo, yung increase mo sa accounts receivable, nakatanggap ka ng income, di ba? So meaning, nag-record ka ng income. Ibig sabihin lang niya, nag-record ka ng income, pero wala ka namang natanggap na cash. Kasi nga, accounts receivable pa rin siya. So therefore, para makuha mo yung cash basis niya for your operating cash flow, ibawas mo siya. Okay? Gets? So AR, maganda example din sa current asset. And lahat ng current asset, AR, inventory, prepaid expenses, and other current asset. Basta current asset, lahat ng changes nun, kapag decrease, i-add mo. Kapag increase, i-deduct mo. Ganoon lang kadali. Kapag asset or current asset, inverse ang relationship. Okay? Next. Kapag liabilities naman, current liabilities, direct. Okay? Bakit direct? Una, add increase in current liabilities. For example, si accounts payable. Okay, nag-increase si accounts payable. Ang isang reason kung bakit mag-i-increase si accounts payable is nag-record ka ng expense mo. Therefore, nag-record ka ng expense mo, pero wala ka namang nilalabas na cash. Nag-record ka ng expense mo, walang cash related. Therefore, yung profit mo, understated. Kasi nag-record ka ng expense na wala ka naman nilalabas na cash. So, ang kailangan mong gawin, i-add mo. I-add mo yung increase in current liabilities or specifically increase in accounts payable. Kasi nga, bakit? Wala ka namang nilabas na cash pero nag-record ka ng expense. Diba? Kasabay kasi ng pag-record mo ng expense, mag-record ka ng payable. For example, nag-accrued accrued expense, di ba? Ang katapat ng accrued expense mo, debit, credit mo, accounts payable. So, nag-increase yung accounts payable mo kasi nag-record ka ng expense or accrued expense kahit na wala ka namang nilalabas na cash. So, dapat i-add mo siya. So, kapag decrease naman, syempre, i-deduct mo less kasi nga direct ang relationship niya. Okay? So, makukuha mo na yung cash basis mo or cash flow from operating activities. So, ganun lang kadali yung indirect method. Actually, mas madali nga yung indirect method kesa dun sa direct method. Kasi indirect method, changes lang yung kukuhanin mo, tapos add deduct ka lang, makukuha mo na yung cash flow from operating activities. Okay? Okay. So, tapos na tayo sa operating. Punta naman tayo sa, investing naman. So, cash flows from investing activities are the cash transactions involving acquisitions and disposal of asset pa rin itong investing natin. And it involves non-operating. So, pag sinabing non-operating, meaning, hindi siya operating. So, ano ba yung mga non-operating asset natin? Yung mga hindi naman natin ginagamit sa ordinary course of business natin. Andyan yung property, plant, and equipment. So, lahat ng payment natin, nung bumili tayo ng property, plant, and equipment, yung mga building, mga equipment, mga machinery, furnitures, and fixtures, lahat ng bayad natin dyan, papasok yan under investing activities. And it includes those relating to capitalized development costs and self-constructed property, plant, and equipment. So, yung mga nagastos mo sa pagpapagawa ng property, plant, and equipment, lahat yon kasama sa investing activities natin. Okay, next. Cash receipts from sale of property, plant, and equipment. So, may matatanggap ka, di ba? Kapag nagbenta ka na machinery mo or ng property mo, and the intangibles and other long-term assets. So, kung makikita mo, ang pinagkaiba ng operating and investing talaga is kapag operating, current. Diba? Operating. Kapag investing, non-current. Non-current, asset. So, kapag nakatanggap ka ng pera dahil nagbenta ka ng non-current asset, at nagbayad ka ng pera dahil bumili ka ng non-current asset, lahat yon papasok sa investing activities mo. Okay? So, pangatlo, cash payment to acquire entity of debt instrument of other enterprise and interest in joint ventures. So, ito more about investments talaga to. Yan. Cash payment dahil bumili ka ng investment. Ito naman, cash receipt from sale of equity or debt equity or debt instrument. So, ibig sabihin, bumili ka ng investment at nagbenta ka ng investment. Yun lang. Lahat ng natanggap mong pera dahil nagbenta ka ng investment at lahat ng binayad mo na pera dahil bumili ka ng investment, lahat pasok yun sa investing activities. Okay? So next, cash advances and loans made to other parties. So yung mga advances and loans mo hindi sa mga employees, huwag sa employees. Kasi pag sa employees, pasok yan sa operating. Pero kapag sa other parties or sa other companies or other than yan, yung mga third party. So yan, kapag nagpa-advance ka doon or nag-loan ka doon, yung mga yung mga cash na nilabas mo, kasama yan sa investing activities. Okay? So next, or lastly, cash receipts from the repayment of advances for those. Ganun rin. So about cash receipts and cash payments lang to. So ito naman, pag receipts, kapag binayaran ka na ng pinautang mo, di ba? Dahil may loan siya sa'yo. So yung cash receipts na yun, papasok yan under investing activities. So remember, kaya tayo gumagawa ng statement of cash flow. Sinusundan natin saan pumupunta yung cash. Okay? Yes? So susundan natin saan pupunta itong cash na to. Pang-operating ba to? Pang-investing ba to? Or pang-financing? Yun dapat yung tandaan nyo. So kailangan yung makukuha natin dito na amount ng cash flow, cash outflow or cash inflow man yan, net cash outflow or net cash inflow. Dapat yun yung makukuha mong amount na change sa cash mo during that year. Yun yung isang way ng checking mo. So kunwari, ang beginning balance ng cash mo, pasukan mo siya ng net cash outflow or inflow, yun yung magiging ending balance ng cash mo. Dapat ganon. Kasi sinusundan natin kung saan lang pumupunta si cash. Kasi cash is a good measure kung paano tumatakbo talaga yung isang company. Not just comprehensive income lang, not just yung profit lang. Maganda rin na nakikita mo kung saan pumupunta si cash. Kasi doon mo makikita yung tunay na kita mo sa cash mismo, kung ano yung cash na hawak mo and saan siya napunta. Okay? Next. Ayan. So, meron pa pala ditong about contracts, pero investments rin to. So, cash receipts from cash receipts from sale of investments. Yan, yung mga contracts, future contracts, forward contracts, option contracts, swap contracts. Lahat yan investment and investing yan. Okay? Kaya nga, nandun ang galing yung word na investing. So, meaning nag-i-invest ka. So, all about lahat ng transaction mo na about investing or sa pag-i-invest, lahat yun papasok under investing activities. Okay? Next. Next is our cash flow from financing activities. Yan yung pinakahuli natin, financing. So, financing is important. Bakit? Because it is useful in predicting claims on future cash flows. So, dito naman, kapag sa financing naman, more of liability and equity itong financing activities. Bakit siya liability and equity? Tingnan mo yung mga example niya. So, ang example of cash flows arising from financing activities are, una, cash proceeds from issuing shares. Equity ang shares, di ba? Lahat ng proceeds or cash na natanggap mo nung nag-issue ka ng shares ng company, pasok yon sa financing activities. And isa pang reason kung bakit liability and equity. Kasi di ba, ang way kung paano makakuha ng fund or ng capital na gagamitin si company para sa pagpapatakbo ng business is through liability and equity. Either mangutang ka or mag-issue ka ng shares mo. Makakatanggap ka ng capital mo para sa pagpapatakbo ng business mo. So nakikita mo yung ano niya, nakikita mo yung scope ng statement of cash flow. Ang scope niya, yung buong FS or yung buong performance ng company. Hindi lang basta income. Nakikita mo rin doon kung ano yung mga pera na hiniram ni company. Ano yung mga pera na natanggap niya, nag-issue sa ng shares. And kung paano niya ginamit yon for its operating activities. So may connection siya. So parang investing, financing, yun yung magagamit mo for your operating activities. Okay? So for financing, ayan, cash proceeds from issuing shares and other equity instruments. Next naman, cash payment to owners to acquire or redeem the enterprise shares. So yan, lahat ng payments mo naman ngayon, kapag in-acquire mo na or ni-redeem mo na yung shares na i-issue mo. Okay? So next, cash proceeds from issuing debentures, loans, notes, bonds, or any kind of debt instrument. So yan, nangutang ka. Yung cash proceeds na natanggap mo dahil nangutang ka, nag-issue ka ng mga debentures at bonds. Kung nangutang ka, lahat yon pasok sa financing activities. Okay? So next, cash repayments of the amounts borrowed. So nangutang ka, syempre, ibabayad mo, pasok rin yun sa financing activities. So tandaan niyo dito sa cash flow, lahat ng pumasok, lahat ng lumabas, dapat lalabas. Dapat lalabas siya doon sa statement of cash flows. Sinusundan mo kung saan siya pumunta. Okay? So, always lagi, cash inflow, cash outflow. Okay? So, lastly, cash payments by MSE for the reduction of the outstanding liability relating to finance lease. So, ito naman, when it comes to lease naman, yan, yung renta. Yung cash payment mo for operating lease. Di ba, ang operating lease is ano lang, rent expense, cash, di ba, ganun lang. Pupunta yon saan? Financing ba yon? Hindi. Operating lang siya. Kasi kaya nga siya tinawag na operating lease, di ba? So pupunta siya sa operating activities. Pero paano naman yung mga bayad mo? Under finance lease yung rent mo. So pag under finance lease, syempre, pupunta siya sa financing activities. Kasi finance lease siya. Di ba? May ano rin siya, may ano tawag dito? Meron din siyang pagkakatulad. Di ba? Kung finance, may clue ka na. Kung finance lease, financing activities pupunta yan. Okay? So, yung mga cash payments mo dun sa rent mo na yun. Ayan. So, tapos na tayo dun sa tatlo. Diba? Operating, investing, financing. Yun lang yung mga kailangan mong tandaan. Actually, madali mo lang siyang tandaan eh. Ang tatandaan mo lang, kapag current asset and current liabilities, lahat yan operating. Kapag non-current asset na transaction, lahat yan investing. Kapag non-current liability and equity transaction yan, lahat yan financing. Ganun lang siya kadali tandaan para mas mabilis kang mag-classify kung ano yung i-compute mo. Eh mamaya, kapag nag-problem solving na tayo, mas makikita nyo na doon yung paano nga ba nagka-classify kapag nakakita ka na ng problem. Okay? So next naman, dividends paid. Ayan, di ba wala ka pa nakikita kanina, dividends paid. Dividend received pa lang under operating, di ba? So dividends paid naman may be classified as a financing activities. Bakit? Kasi it is a cost of obtaining financial resources. Di ba? For example, nag-issue ka ng shares. Yung shares na yon, bibigyan mo ng dividend. Therefore, hindi naman pwedeng mag-issue ka ng share na walang dividend. Diba? Parang ano, ang kailangan ng mga shareholders mo is dividend kasi they're investing. And since ginamit mo yon as cost para magkaroon ka ng financial resources o ng capital, so it is reasonable lang na yung dividends na ibabayad mo is related to financing activities. Kasi hindi pwedeng mag-issue ka ng shares na wala kang dividend na binabayaran. Although, merong kahit yung mga ordinary shares natin, may dividend pa rin yun. Pero nasa discretion na ng company yun if kaya niyang magbigay ng dividends during that year. Pero may nakalagay dito, alternatively, dividends paid may also be classified as a component of cash flow from operating activities. So pwede rin pala siyang ilagay into operating activities. Kasi nga, bakit? For the reason that it is an order to assist user to determine the ability of the enterprise to pay its dividend out of its operating cash flows. Kasi ito, saan mo ba kinukuha yung dividends na ipapambayad? Di ba sa retained earnings mo? Saan ba nanggaling yung retained earnings mo? Ang retained earnings mo nanggaling rin sa income mo. Income mo from what? From operating activities. Gets? So reasonable lang na ilagay mo yung dividends paid mo kasi yan na lang yung natitira, di ba? Yung interest paid, interest received, operating. Yung dividends received, operating rin. Itong paid lang yung nahiwalay sa financing. Pero alternatively, pwede mo rin siyang ilagay sa operating. Kasi nga, it is a way to assist the user to determine the ability of the enterprise to pay its dividend out of its operating cash flow. So may kinalaman pa rin siya sa operating activities. Kaya alternatively, pwede mo siyang ilagay. Okay? Okay, so tapos na tayo sa discussion natin. So ngayon naman, pupunta na tayo sa problem solving. So dito mas ma-apply natin kung paano nga talaga nangyayari kapag nakita ka na ng problem. Sa iba rin yung nakikita mo yung problem mismo as compare sa makikinig ka lang sa discussion. Kasi kailangan mo numbers. We need numbers para mas makita natin. Okay? Ayan. Ayan. Okay. Okay. Okay na. Handa na ba kayo na mag-problem solving tayo? Ayan, wait lang. Ayan, sige. Pwede kayong pwede kayong mag bathroom break or water break. Siguro mga 2 minutes lang. Kung kailangan niyo uminom ng tubig. Ayan. 2 minutes lang. Tapos mag-solve na tayo ng problem solving. Okay? If you have question guys, you can chat doon sa chat box natin para masagot ko kayo if you have questions about the topic. Ayan huwag muna kayong kaalis Dahil magpa-problem solving pa lang tayo. So dito talaga sa problem solving, makikita mo na kung paano paano mo na i-apply. Ay guys, pwedeng mag-react kayo ng clap reaction if para ma-check ko lang if okay yung audio ko. Naririnig niyo ako ng maayos. Thank you, Miss Noemi. And ayan, okay. Ay, yung loud ba ay sobrang lakas or okay lang naman? Baka masyadong malakas. Ayan. Yan, buti naman. Okay. I think we're ready na to answer our problem solving, no? Okay. Okay, let's start. Ayan. So, you can chat para maintindihan. Kung may mga tanong kayo, you can chat para mas maano. Okay. So, problem number one. So, problem number one is all about operating activities using the direct method. So pag direct method, gagawin lang natin cash receipts, cash payment. Yun lang. Okay? So Charlotte Company uses the direct method to prepare its statement of cash flows. Charlotte had the following cash flows during 2020. Okay, cash receipts from issuance of ordinary shares. So ito pala ang isang magandang way pag magko-compute ka or mag-solve ka ng problem is tingin ka muna sa question. So ang question sa atin, what is the net cash provided or used from operating activities? So ang sabi, operating. So kailangan, ang titingnan mo ngayon sa mga given mo, operating lang. Kapag hindi operating, disregard mo na. Okay? Okay. First, given, cash receipts from issuance of ordinary shares. Ordinary shares is equity, therefore financing. So hindi kasama. Next, cash receipts from customers. Customers is operating activities. Therefore, kasama. Okay. Ayan. Ay, wait lang. Sorry. Wait lang. Hindi siya kita, no? Sige, wait lang. Sorry. Ayusin natin. Mag-i-stop share muna ako, tapos i-share ko yung, ayan. Ayan, kita na? Ayan, okay. Sorry. Ano, hindi ko pala siya nalipat dun sa problem na window. Okay. So, okay, ulitin ko na lang. Okay, problem number 1. Operating activities using the direct method. Charlotte Company uses the direct method to prepare its statement of cash flows. Charlotte had the following cash flows during 2020. Okay. And sabi ko nga yon, tingin ka muna sa question para madali na pag titingin ka sa given. Okay? Ang question sa atin, what is the net cash provided or used from operating activities? So operating lang yung titignan natin. Disregard na natin si investing and financing activities. Okay? So first given, cash receipts from issuance of ordinary shares. So yan, financing yan kasi equity yan. So disregard. Cash receipts from customer include kasi operating. Next, cash receipts from dividends on long-term investment. Ano yung long-term investment? I mean cash dividends yung natanggap natin. So therefore, dividends received is operating. Next, cash receipts from repayments of loan made to another company. So it's all about loan. And pag sinabing loan, it is a non-current asset. Therefore, investing to. So disregard natin to kasi investing. Lagyan na lang natin ng note. So ito, financing. Ito, investing. Okay? Next. Cash payment for wages and other operating expenses. So sinabihan ka ng operating, given na. So therefore, kasama to. Next, cash payment for insurance. So pag insurance, sabi ko kasama yan kanina, di ba? Under operating. So include natin to. Next, cash payment for dividend. So ito, hindi siya dividend received, dividend paid siya. And kapag dividend paid, saan siya kasama? Financing. Okay, so disregard natin to, financing siya. Next, cash payment for taxes. So taxes, kasama to sa operating, or therefore, kasama natin to. Next, cash payment to purchase land. Okay, si land. Land is a non-current asset. Therefore, it is classified under investing activities. So disregard natin si land, investing activities. Okay? So yan na. Compute mo na kung magkano yung operating cash flow or net cash provided by the operating activities. So 400 cash receipts 60K. Cash payment, yung deduction yung 240. Deduction na rin si 20 for insurance. Deduction na rin si 80 for taxes. Therefore, ang cash receipts mo, 460K. Ang cash payments mo ay 340K. Ang net cash provided by your operating activities is 120,000. Ganoon lang kadali. Okay? So, ang answer natin is letter delta, 120,000. Okay? Next problem. Investing activities, direct method. So, okay, investing activities naman natin. Sa investing naman pa sa financing activities, always naman na direct method sila. Kasi wala kang indirect method na pwedeng gamitin kapag investing and financing ka na. Okay? So, investing is always direct method. Okay, ang tinatanong, what's the net cash provided or used from investing activities? Okay? So, investing lang yung titignan natin. First, cash receipts from sale of an old bond. Sale of what? Non-current asset. Therefore, included under investing. Next, cash receipts from issuance of ordinary shares. Ordinary shares is equity. Therefore, saan papasok? Financing. So, disregard financing ito. Next, cash receipts from issuance of 10% 10-year bonds. So, ikaw nag-issue ka nag-issue ka ng bonds. Ano yung bonds natin? Liability, di ba? Long-term liability. Therefore, financing activity ang pasok nito. So, therefore, F. Next, cash receipts from customers. Customers meaning operating. So, therefore, disregard operating ang pasok nito. Yan, maganda lagyan mo rin siya ng mark para makita mo kung ano yung kailangan mo lang. Okay? So, next, cash receipts from repayment of loan made to other company. So, kung repayment of loan, nakatanggap ka, di ba, ng utang sa'yo. And loan siya, so non-current asset, therefore, kasama. Okay? Next, cash receipts for dividend. Kapag dividend ang sinasabi, okay, so dividend received operating ito. Dividend received. So, operating disregard. Cash receipts as interest for interest or so interest received. Therefore, operating din ito. So, disregard. Diba? Dami mo na na-eliminate. Next, cash payment for operating. O sabi ng operating expenses, so disregard, operating ito. Next, cash payment for taxes. Taxes are operating activities. Disregard, operating. Next, cash payment for equity securities bought. So equity securities are investment, diba? And nagbayad ka. So therefore, kasama siya under investing. Basta non-current asset and it is equity securities. So it is a kind of investment. Okay? So next, cash payment for equipment purchase. Equipment is a non-current asset. Therefore, saan siya? Investing activities. Kasama rin si 300. And lastly, cash payment for land acquired. Land is what? A non-current asset. Therefore, kasama siya under investing. Okay, so let's compute na. So cash receipts versus cash payment. Ano yung mga cash receipts natin? 160,000, 1,200,000. So for a total of 1,360,000 less cash payments. Ano yung mga cash payments? Yung 900, yung 300, yung 1,200,000 for a total of 2,400,000. Okay, so how much ngayon? Net cash provided ba? Hindi. Net cash used. So, mas marami yung payments kasi natin, kaya net cash used. Of how much? 1,040,000. So, ang sagot natin is letter alpha. 1,040,000. Okay? So, ganun lang. Kapag ganito lang yung tinatanong. Kapag yung mga net cash provided lang. So, mamaya kasi may mga twist na sa problem. Okay. Ayan. So, wait lang. Meron sa atin na siya. Ayan. Sumasagot pala kayo. Sige, okay. Sige, sagot lang kayo. Para, ayan. Para napapractice nyo rin, di ba? Nakakasagot na agad kayo. Actually, nakaka-excite na topic si statement of cash flows. Lalo na kapag makukuha mo yung ending balance ng cash. Kasi parang yung haba-haba ng small po na problem, kasi ang kailangan mo lang yung change in cash for the year. So, overwhelming siya kung nakaka-satisfy siya. Nakuha mo yung isa. Okay? Next, problem number 3, financing activities. So, ito naman, financing naman. Ang tanong, what is the net cash provided or used from financing activities? Okay, so Purple Company uses the Indirect Method to prepare its statement of cash flows. Purple had the following cash flows during 2020. Okay. First, cash receipts from issuance of bonds. So bonds is non-current liability. Therefore, financing activities ito. Next, cash receipts from issuance of ordinary shares. Ordinary shares is equity. Therefore, financing activities ito. Next, cash receipts from customer. Customers are operating activities. So, therefore, operating ito. Okay? Next, cash receipts from dividends on long-term investment. So, long-term investment is a non-current asset. Therefore, saan siya kasama? Investing activities. Ay, sorry. Cash receipts from dividends pala. So, ang dividends na pinag-uusapan dito, so therefore, operating siya. Sorry. Ayan. Next, cash receipts from repayment of loan made to other companies. So, therefore, loan to, non-current asset, therefore, investing activities. Ayan. So next, cash payment for wages and other operating. So sinabihan ka ng operating, so disregard operating activities. Next, cash receipts for reacquisition of treasury reserves. So alam naman natin yung mga treasury reserves, di ba? Nag-acquire daw tayo ng treasury shares. So in-acquire ulit natin. So therefore, pasok to under equity. So therefore, kasama siya sa computation. Next, cash payment for dividends. So cash payment for dividends natin, dividends paid. Therefore, financing activities. Next, cash payment for taxes. Taxes are operating activities. Therefore, operating ito. Okay, so next naman, cash payment to purchase land. So to purchase land is a non-current asset. So therefore, investing ito. Okay, so doon lang tayo titingin sa financing. Okay, ang cash receipts natin from financing is 800,000, 1,400,000 for a total of 2,200,000. Next naman, cash payments naman from financing activities. And dyan si 250,000 and si 70,000. So for a total cash payment of 320,000. So our net cash, ano to? Provided. So, net cash provided natin is 1,880,000. Okay? So, ang sagot natin is, okay? So, marami na sumagot na nakat agad. Okay? So, ayan, sagot natin. Cut. So, bumibilis na pala kayo mag-compute, ha? Okay. So, problem number 4. Problem number 4 deals with the indirect method naman. So yan, dito natin magagamit yung formula natin sa indirect. Ang tanong, how much was the cash provided by operating activities? Pero using the indirect method of. Okay. So ayan, okay. So dito, 'di ba, ang formula natin kanina, net income. So titingin ka sa net income. Given na robotics reported a net income of 1,250,000 for the year ended June 30, 2020. The following data were gathered. So impairment loss on available for sale. So paalamin naman natin kung non-cash ba siya. Non-cash expenses or non-cash income ba to? And changes ba ito sa current asset mo and current liabilities mo. Okay. So, impairment loss on available for sale asset. So, itong impairment loss, non-cash to. So, lagyan na lang natin NC, non-cash expenses. NCE, non-cash expense. Bakit non-cash expenses siya? Kasi nagka-impairment loss ka lang, wala ka namang nilabas na cash. So, therefore, kailangan i-add back mo siya. Di ba? Ang mga non-cash expenses, kailangan i-add back mo kasi understated ang income natin. Okay? Next, depreciation expense. Ito si depreciation non-cash expenses rin to. Bakit? Wala ka namang nilabas na cash kung nag-record ka ng depreciation expense, di ba? So, i-add back mo ulit siya. Okay? Next, bad debt expense. Ito, non-cash rin, non-cash expenses. So, ito na pala yung mga example ng non-cash expenses para makita nyo rin. So, non-cash expenses si bad debt expense. Therefore, i-add back siya. Next, loss on sale of land. Loss on sale of land is also a non-cash expenses. Wala kang nilabas na cash dun sa loss on sale of land mo. So therefore, i-add back natin siya. Next, gain on early extinguishment of debt. So pag sinabing gain on early extinguishment of debt, gain siya pero wala kang na-receive na cash dito sa gain na to. So therefore, i-deduct natin siya. Okay? Di ba ang mga non-cash, ang tawag dito, non-cash income. Okay? So net income plus non-cash expenses less non-cash income. Okay? So minus mo si 175. Next, purchase of long-term investment. So ang purchase mo naman ng long-term investment, wala yan. Kasi it's only a purchase. Wala ka namang ni-record na expense or income dyan. Okay? So next, increase in the balance of accounts receivable during 2020. So pag sinabing increase in the balance, di ba ang sabi ko, kapag current asset, tulad ng accounts receivable, inverse ang relationship niya. So kapag tumaas yan, meaning dapat ibabawas mo siya. Dapat i-deduct mo siya. Okay? Inverse relationship, remember, current asset, inverse relationship. So ibawas mo si 20K. Okay. So yan, pwede na tayo mag-compute. From net income na 1,250,000, add 2,500, add 30,000, add 12,500, add 50,000, deduct 175, deduct 20,000. So therefore, ang sagot natin is 1,150,000. So yan ang net cash provided by our operating activities. So ang sagot natin, alpha. So alpha. Okay? So chat lang kayo guys ha, if may mga tanong kayo or medyo kung nabibilisan kayo or may mga clarifications kayo, you can chat. Okay, para masagot natin. So okay, so net cash provided by operating activities is 1,150,000. Next, problem number 5. So problem number 5 concerns are about operating activities. Pero dito sa operating activities naman natin, ayun, sa operating activities naman natin, wait. Ang tinatanong sa atin, dalawa. Compute for net cash flows from operating using the indirect and the direct approach. So ito yung isang mamaya makikita nyo. And mamaya makikita nyo kung ano dapat yung sagot natin at kung bakit naging ganun yung sagot natin. Okay? Okay. So ngayon, indirect muna yung gamitin natin. So sa indirect method, ayan, ang kailangan mo sa indirect method is yung income mo or yung net profit mo before taxation and given na 2,370,000. Ayan. Okay? So lagay mo lang siya dito. Dito tayo sa gilid magko-compute ha. 2,370,000. Yan, lagay natin siya dyan. Indirect ang gamit natin ha. Ano ang sunod na gagawin? Mag-a-adjust ka for non-cash expenses and non-cash income. Ano yung non-cash expenses mo dyan? From your given, ayan, yan yung given natin. The following information is available about the transaction of Margaret Company for the year ended December 31, 2020. So from your given, alin dyan si non-cash expense? Etong depreciation. Kasi wala ka namang nilabas na cash na mag-record ka yan. Therefore, ibalik mo siya si 880,000. Okay? Meron pa bang non-cash expenses and non-cash income? Wala na. Okay, so okay na yan. Next naman, mag-a-adjust tayo for the increase or decrease of our current and non-current asset and liabilities. Increase in current asset and current liabilities. Okay. So next, pag nakita mo, doon ka lang tingin sa increase or decrease. Yan, ito, increase in inventory, decrease in receivable, decrease in payable. Okay? Yun lang yung kailangan natin sa indirect method. Pag sinabing increase in inventory, increase in current asset. Therefore, sabi, inverse relationship, ang gagawin, ide-deduct. So, ide-deduct mo si 370,000. Next, decrease in receivable, decrease in current asset, inverse relationship. Therefore, i-add mo si 280,000. Next, decrease in payable, decrease in current liabilities, meaning direct relationship kapag current liabilities, di ba? So dahil decrease siya, decrease din ang 390,000 natin. Okay? So may iba pa ba? Wala na. Yan na, okay na. So ano yung magiging sagot natin? Ang net cash flows, inflow from operating activities natin using the indirect method is, compute mo lang, 2,770,000. Okay? So ang sagot natin is, ayan, boy. Ayan. Boy ang sagot natin. 2,770,000. Next naman, tinanong sa atin, how much is the net cash flows from operating activities using the direct method? Kapag direct method, ito always dapat pareho lang ang makukuha mong cash flows from your indirect method or indirect approach and your direct approach. Bakit? Kasi magkaiba ka lang ng approach na ginamit pero yun pa rin yung net cash flows na matatanggap mo. Pareho lang dapat. So dapat ang sagot natin dito B. Pero tingnan natin, compute natin kung hindi pa rin yung makukuha natin using the direct approach. Okay? So paano yung direct approach? Cash receipts less cash payments or cash paid. Okay? So, titingin ka dito. Cash paid. Ayan, lumabas. Cash paid for expenses. So, deduct ka ngayon ng 2,270,000. Cash paid to employees. Deduct ka rin ng 2,820,000. Meron pa ba? Cash paid ulit. Cash paid to suppliers. 4,940,000. Lastly, cash received from customers. So 12,800,000. So using your direct approach, how much yun na-compute mo? So that should be, so kailangan mag-isang 2,770,000. Hindi pwedeng magkaiba yan kasi ibig sabihin may mali ka pag magkaiba yan. So our answer for question number 2 is boy talaga. 2,770,000. Okay? So yan, ipakita yung difference ng computation pero you will come up with the same answer. Okay? So next problem. Problem number 6. Problem number 6 is about operating activities. Ayan. So on January 2, 2020, Graciano Company, a property developer, purchased a land and building which the company will redevelop and sell. The cost of buying the land and building was 20 million. Additional costs incurred in relation to the acquisition of the asset totaled 500,000. In the statement of cash flows, how should the acquisition be disclosed? So yan, saan daw, ayan palagay, saan daw papasok, sorry, ayan, saan daw papasok dapat sa statement of cash flows etong purchase niya ng land? Iisipin mo, di ba? Land and building. So kung land and building, non-current asset ito. Di ba? So dapat papasok siya sa investing activities. Pero sa investing activities ba siya? Hindi. Kasi ito may ano din dito, mayroong concept na dapat tandaan ka. Yung land and building niya kasi, will be redeveloped and be sold. So meaning, hindi mo siya non-current asset, hindi siya part ng property, plant, and equipment mo. Ano siya? Part siya ng inventory mo. Gets treated as inventory mo siya. Okay? Kasi property developer ka. Therefore, kung inventory mo siya, sale of inventory or your goods is under operating activities. Therefore, ang sagot natin, letter B. It is an operating activity outflow of yung total na 20,500,000. Okay? Ito dapat tandaan nyo to kasi classified siya as operating activities. Okay? And according to international Philippine accounting standards, ang sabi, noong January 1, 2009, classified siya as financing. Diba? Pwede mo pa siya i-classify as investing pala, sorry. Classified siya as investing. Pero, nung naglabas yung Philippine Accounting Standard ng ruling na dapat, kung ang binili mo na land or building ay i-redevelop mo or isi-sell mo, treated siya as inventory. Therefore, dapat under operating activities mo siya i-record. Okay? So, remember that, important concept yan. Next. Okay. Problem number 7, operating activity ulit. Ang sabi, Ding Company, a property investor, purchased a land and building for 50 million on June 1, 2020. The land and the building were purchased for the purpose of earning rental income from the properties. In the statement of cash flows, how should Ding Company present the purchase of the land and the building? Okay? So, ang sagot natin dito, ito, isa pang concept. So, kaya ako kinuha tong problem na to is may gusto akong iparating na concept. Okay? So, ayan, nag-purchase ka ng land and building. And property investor ka. Hindi ka property developer. Property investor ka lang. On June 1, 2020. The land and the building were purchased for the purpose of earning rental income from the properties. Pag sinabing earning rental income from the properties, ano siya? Ang tawag sa kanya? Ang tawag sa kanya is investment property to. Yes. Investment property yung tawag sa kanya. And kapag investment property, saan mo siya ilalagay? Only a disclosure lang. So, ang sagot natin, letter D. Only a disclosure is required in the notes to financial statements. Bakit? Kasi treated as investment property na. Kapag ang isang non-current asset na binili mo ay ginawa mong investment property, ayan, for the purpose of earning rental income from the properties, di ba? So yun ang investment property natin, either for capital appreciation, di ba? Or earning rental income. So kapag investment property mo siya classify, hindi siya kasama or hindi siya lalabas sa statement of cash flows mo. Pero lalabas siya as disclosure sa notes to financial statement. Okay? Doon siya lalabas sa notes to financial statement. And makikita mo rin yan under your statement of cash flows. May note ka doon sa ilalim. May note ka doon na investment property to. Therefore, only a disclosure is required. Okay? So, dapat ang sagot natin, letter D. Only a disclosure is required in the notes to financial statement. Okay? Clear tayo doon kapag investment property, isa to sa exemptions under the new rule when it comes to statement of cash flows. Kapag investment property siya, kailangan i-disclose mo lang siya. Hindi siya mapapasama sa statement of cash flows. Okay? So remember that. Remember that. Problem number 8. Problem number 8, investing activities naman. Okay. So problem number 8, ang tanong, in the statement of cash flows, how should Dynasty present the acquisition of the subsidiary? So ito yung mga problem na kailangan mo yung concept. Kasi ano na siya, medyo technical na siya, pero pag natandaan mo naman yung concept niya, it is a good way for you kapag magsasagot ka ng mga problems na ganyan. Okay? So next. So sabi ng problem, Dynasty Company, a parent company, pays 20 million in cash and issues 80,000 million in shares to acquire subsidiary with a cash balance of 30 million and other net assets including goodwill of 70 million. So dito, naglabas ka ng pera, di ba? And si parent, binili niya sa subsidiary. So aware naman kayo sa parent and subsidiary, di ba? Si parent company, bibili niya sa subsidiary para maging wholly owned. Either wholly owned or maging na siyang subsidiary. Yan. So ang nagbayad ka ng 20 million in cash. Therefore, take cash tayo na nilabas. So therefore, all about cash, kailangan papasok to sa statement of cash flows natin. Saan naman siya papasok? Ito, papasok siya sa saan? Investing activities. So, ba't siya papasok sa investing activities? Ang sabi, when there is a payment by the acquired company to the vendor, which is in substance part of the vendor's proceeds and the purchaser's cost of acquisition, this should be accounted for as part of the fair value of the consideration paid for the acquisition. So, ang sabi dito, ayan, tama. Ayan. Ay, sorry. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin, ito, magiging part to ng ay, sorry. Problem 9 pala ako na. Okay, problem 8 pala. Okay. Sorry. So, itong problem, problem 8 pala, ang sagot natin is, ayan, A. So, A siya. An outflow of 20 million in the investing activities. So, remember, kapag about parent na nag-purchase ng subsidiary, lahat ng cash na ilalabas mo doon under investing. Bakit? Kasi yung investment mo sa kanya dyan, di ba i-record mo as investment in subsidiary? Remember that account? Investment in subsidiary? Di ba dyan mo siya ipapasok? Therefore, investment siya. And kapag investment siya, investing activity siya. So it is an outflow of 20 million under your investing activity. Okay? Take note of that din, Purchase by the parent of its subsidiary is classified under investing activities. So ang record mo kasi dyan, ganyan, di ba? Investment in subsidiary, debit, credit, cash. Okay? Sa ano niya yan? Saan ba to? Sa business combination or sa consolidation. Yung amount na yan sa FAR. Okay? Next, problem number 9. Ang tanong sa problem number 9, the dividend was paid after the date of acquisition. In the statement of cash flows, how should Corp company present the payment of dividend? So ito naman about payment of dividend. Di ba sabi natin kanina, ang payment of dividend natin, yan. Ang payment of dividend natin, financing siya, di ba? Dapat sa financing siya. Okay? So tingnan mo natin yung given. Torque Company acquired a subsidiary. As part of the purchase agreement, the subsidiary's shareholders authorized a 5 million dividend pre-acquisition. Take note of pre-acquisition na word. That is payable to the former shareholders or the vendor. The purchase consideration payable for the acquisition was reduced by the amount of the dividend. So the dividend was paid after the date of acquisition. In the statement of cash flows, how should Torque Company present the payment of dividend? So sasabihin mo, payment of dividend, dividend paid, financing, di ba? Hindi. Kasi, ito yung concept na kailangan nating tandaan. Ayan. Sa concept na to, ang sabi sa atin, pre-acquisition. Pre-acquisition, nangyari yung agreement na magbabayad ng 5 million dividend sa mga old or yung mga former shareholders. Therefore, hindi siya included under dun sa, ayan, hindi siya included under dun sa financing transaction natin. Kasi di ba ang financing transaction natin ay ang investing transaction pala natin is yung binili mo, yung subsidiary. So para kasing nangyari, itong 5 million natin is purchase. Kasama rin to sa sa yung total cost ng purchase mo. Parang bukod sa cash na magbabayad ka, yan. Bukod sa magbibigay ka ng kunwari share din, and issues 80 million in shares, ito naman, nagbayad ka ng dividend. Pero take note ka kasi pre-acquisition siya. Hindi siya related doon sa investing activity mo na pagbili ng subsidiary. Meaning before siya nag-agree kayo. And tingnan mo, kailan siya binayaran? After na the date of acquisition. Therefore, kung after the date of acquisition na, hindi during the date of acquisition. Kasi kapag during the date of acquisition mo binayaran to, yung cash na outflow mo na yan, yung cash na binayad mo, investing yan, ang pasok. Pero dahil after the date of acquisition siya, saan papasok yun? Operating. Ang sagot natin, letter B. It is an outflow of 5 million in its operating activity. Ito pa isang explanation. Where the dividend was not part of the acquisition agreement. Sabi ko nga, it would not form part of the consideration. Therefore, hindi siya part ng consideration. So, hindi siya pupunta under your investing activities. When the dividend was paid, it would be included in the post-acquisition consolidated cash flow. Under what? Operating activities. There, gets? Hindi siya papasok sa investing. Kasi nga, binayaran mo siya or naglabas ka ng cash after na nung acquisition or after na nung investing activities. Di ba? After nung pagbili mo kay subsidiary. So therefore, operating lang siya. Parang nangyari, nagbayad ka lang ng creditor mo. Parang nangyari, nagbayad ka ng current liability mo. Settlement lang siya ng current liability mo. And ang settlement mo ng current liability is what? Under operating. Gets? So therefore, hindi siya magiging investing. Okay? Clear tayo doon ha. Dapat clear tayo doon. Ito, special instance siya na kapag yung binayaran mo, yung cash outflow mo na yan, is nangyari after or post. Nangyari na siya post-acquisition. Therefore, hindi na siya related sa investing activities mo. Saan na siya related? For your operating activities. Okay? Yan, may mga question na rin kasi na ganyan minsan kapag nasa board exam na kayo or kahit sa mga pre-boards pa lang, may mga questions talaga na yung questions na parang out of this world. Basta yung parang mga questions na may kinukuha siyang concept na kailangan alam mo. Hindi lang basta alam mo kung paano mag-compute ng ganito, kung paano mag-compute ng, alam mo yung formula, yung gano'n. May mga concept rin na parang specifically talaga. Gusto niyong malaman kung ano. And this is one of. Yeah. Okay? So, next na. Sunod na tayo. Problem 10. Investing pa rin. Pero it's all about sales and leaseback. Alam niyo naman yung sales and leaseback, diba? Ang sales and leaseback is binenta mo yung equipment mo. For example, nagbenta ka ng equipment mo. Tapos, nileaseback mo. Parang binenta mo, tapos nileaseback mo. Pero yon, pag binenta mo na siya, meaning, yung title mo dun sa equipment, lumipat na dun sa binentahan mo. And at the same time, ginawa mo sa kanya, nileaseback mo. Bakit ba nagsisale and leaseback yung iba? Kasi, una, ikaw yung mag-record ng depreciation dyan, di ba? Ng equipment mo, kung nasa iyo yan. Pero kapag binenta mo na siya, siya na yung may-ari, siya na yung mag-record din sa books niya, siya na magde-depreciate. Ikaw, nililist mo na lang. Okay? So, that's one reason kung ba't mag-sales and leaseback yung iba. Yung mga company. Okay? So, ang tanong sa atin, question number 1. If the leaseback is treated as an operating lease, okay, how should Vixen Company present the sale in its cash flow statement? Okay, so dito, sinabi, operating lease daw siya. So, given, si Vixen Company nagbenta ng equipment niya worth 15 million on December 31, 2020, but immediately, nilist it back niya for a period of 5 years. So, hindi ko na masyado explain dito yung rules natin ng sales and leaseback, no? Kasi meron siyang separate na topic. So, ang major rule lang dito, kailangan alamin mo kung operating or finance lease ba nung nilist back siya ulit. Okay? So, ang equipment may carry yung value na 10 million on December 31, 2020. Tanong sa atin, paano mo daw siya i-record sa cash flow statement? So, kapag operating lease, di ba, coming from the word operating, di ba? Coming from the word operating lease. So, kapag operating lease yan, yung babayaran mo sa kanya na lease is under operating activity. Okay? So first muna, magkakaroon ka ng inflow. Diba? Nakatanggap ka ng 15 million nung binenta mo yung equipment. So therefore, may inflow ka ng 15 million. Saan papasok yun? Investing activity. Okay? Investing activity mo na papasok yan. Next, your outflow of 5 million. Bakit ka nagka-outflow ng 5 million? Kasi, sorry. Ayun. Okay. Ayan. But okay, the equipment has a carrying value of 10 million. Okay. Kasi 'di ba, nagbenta ka. Nagbenta ka ng tawag dito, nagbenta ka ng equipment. Therefore, yung matatanggap mo na cash is under your investing activities. So an inflow of 15 million under your investing activities. And paano naman yung difference nung equipment mo and nung carrying value mo? So 'di ba meron kang gain, 'di ba? Kung may gain ka, mare-report yan under your profit or loss. So therefore, yung gain mo dito, lagay na natin, yung gain mo dito na 5 million, pumasok yan saan? Sa profit or loss mo. Pero dapat ba nasa profit or loss siya? Hindi. Kasi non-cash income siya. Therefore, si profit or loss mo, babawasan mo ng 5 million. So ang sagot natin, letter C. Ayan. May inflow ka ng 15 million from investing activities. Kasi nakatanggap ka ng cash nung nagbenta ka ng equipment. And meron ka ring adjustment dun sa operating activities mo. Under operating activities, 5 million. Outflow siya. Magbabawas ka. Kasi nadagdag siya sa profit or loss mo. Using indirect method to di ba? Sabi ko pag indirect, kailangan i-add mo ay kailangan i-deduct mo yung mga non-cash income. And isang non-cash income mo is yung gain from sale. Gain from sale of what? Gain from sale of equipment. Kasi pumasok yan sa income. So, outflow siya. Okay? So, yun yung impact niya sa cash flow statement. So, paano ang nangyayari? Ayan, pag nakita mo, ang net niya, nagka-inflow ka, nagka-outflow ka, so ang net niya, 10 million lang. Okay? So parang ang total na maaano sa cash mo, mag-change sa cash mo for the year is yung 10 million. Okay? Next, question number 2. If the leaseback is treated as a finance lease. So yan, sinabi naman na finance lease siya. How should Vixen Company present the sale in its cash flow statement. So kung finance lease naman siya, from the word finance lease, okay? So di ba sabi ko kanina, kapag finance lease, saan papasok? Financing activities. Okay? So ganoon lang. Kapag finance lease, financing activity papasok. Therefore, ang sagot natin is letter B. If the leaseback is a finance lease, the transaction is a lease whereby the lessor provides finance to the lessee with yung security niya, yung equipment. Kasi ba, binenta mo siya, yung sa pinagbilan mo, binenta mo siya, and nilease back mo ulit siya. So parang nangyayari, yung binabayad mo sa kanya na rent, ano nangyayari? Parang pautang mo sa kanya yun. Diba? Parang nagpo-provide ka ng financing sa kanya to the lessee. Parang si lessor pala, sorry, si lessor, yung pinagbentahan mo, nagpo-provide siya sa atin ng finance. Tapos ang security natin, yung asset na binenta natin. Wait, magulo ba? Okay, so wait, explain ko siya ng mas simple. Ayan. So, basta ang general rule, since this is treated as a finance lease, so dapat papasok siya under your financing activities. And how should Dixon Company present this? This is an outflow of 15 million from financing activities. Yes. Ang sagot natin dito, letter B. Wait lang. Ito special case tong sales and lease na. Kasi yun nga, hindi siya lease lang kasi, hindi siya yung simple na lease lang na nag-lease ka lang. Ang nangyari kasi, sales and lease back siya. Yes, kahit na nagka-inflow ka, ayan, from investing, nagka-inflow ka dahil nagbenta ka ng equipment. Pero ang nangyari naman kasi, dito, dahil finance lease na, parang ikaw ngayon yung nagka-outflow. Bakit parang ikaw yung nagka-outflow? Kasi, i-release back mo siya. Okay? So parang ikaw yung magkakaroon ng parang ikaw yung magkakaroon ng liability doon sa pinagbentahan. Kasi i-release back mo ulit siya. So nagigi siyang, wait. Wait. Parang may mali sa problem. Latawan muna natin itong problem 10 kasi parang may mali sa problem. Okay, babalikan ko na lang yan mamaya. Okay, problem 11 muna tayo. So problem 11 concerns about investing activities. So ito naman, investing activities natin, ayan. So ang tanong, how much would be the net change that would be reported in the cash flow from investing activities section? Okay. In 2020, a typhoon completely destroyed a building belonging to Carrier Corporation. The building cost 2,500,000 and had an accumulated depreciation of 1,200,000 at the time of the loss. Carrier received a cash settlement from the insurance company and reported a loss of 525,000. So how much daw yung cash flow na i-report mo under your investing activities? So ito, special cases din siya kasi about siya sa ayan, may natanggap ka na insurance or cash settlements from insurance company. And yun lang syempre, yung ilalagay mo under your investing activities or cash received in your investing activities. Bakit? Kasi yun lang yung may natanggap ka na. Okay, so paano mo makakompute yun? First, compute for the carrying amount of your asset or yung na-destroy na building. So 2,500,000 deduct 1,200,000. So therefore, ang carrying amount natin is 1,300,000. Kanino mo siya i-compare? Compare it to your reported loss. Ang reported loss mo, 525. So therefore, ito yung carrying amount mo. Nagka-loss ka ng 525. Right? Ba't ka nagka-loss ng 525? Kasi nga, hindi nasagot lahat ni insurance company. Yung carrying value na nawala sa'yo. Kasi na-destroy yung building eh. As in, wala na talaga siyang value. And nagka-loss ka ng 525. Therefore, ang nabigay lang sa'yo na cash or na-reimburse lang ni insurance company is what? 775,000. Ayan yung cash na natanggap mo. Okay? So therefore, nagkaroon ka ng increase in investing activities amounting to 775,000. Okay? So ang sagot natin is CAT, 775,000. Ayan na. Special case to. Nakatanggap ka ng cash pero relating siya sa non-current asset mo. Therefore, yung matatanggap mo na cash will be reported under your investing activities. Kasi baka isipin mo, bayad din sa insurance, di ba? Bayad sa insurance. Pero hindi. Related kasi siya sa non-cash ay non-current asset mo. Therefore, under investing activities mo siya. Okay? Kasi baka sabihin mo, ito yung may insurance na word. So, dapat operating to. Di ba? Hindi. Cash settlement siya ng insurance fund. Ayan. So, therefore, dapat investing siya. Related kasi siya sa non-current asset. Okay? So, next problem. Problem number 12. Ang tanong, how should the receipt from insurance company be shown in the statement of cash? So, ito naman, ang sinasabi naman kasi dito, katulad nung sa taas, naka-receive rin siya ng insurance or cash settlement from insurance company. Okay? So, a flood damage a building and its contents. Floods are unusual and infrequent. Ayan, in this area. The receipt from insurance company totaled 200,000, which was 60,000 less than the book value. The tax rate is 32%. So how should the receipts from insurance company be shown in the statement of cash? So sabi dito, naka-receive ka ulit ng insurance or cash settlement from your insurance company. Therefore, kakaroon ka ng inflow or increase in what? Investing activities. So, sagot natin dito, letter C. Ayan. So, meron kang cash inflow from your investing activities, 200,000. And take note ka dun sa word na unusual and infrequent in this area. So, dun pa lang sa word na unusual and infrequent, ang sabi, where cash flows relate to items that are classified as unusual in the income statement, they should be shown under the appropriate standard heading. And ano yung appropriate group natin? Investing activities. Kasi related siya sa building, which is a non-current asset. Okay, so kapag unusual yung items, i-relate mo siya sa kung saan siya related na asset. So dahil non-current asset siya, under investing activities siya. Okay? Okay. So, next. Problem number 13. So, problem number 13, ito, ang computation na natin dito, tuloy-tuloy na. Straight problem na to. Kasi, pagsasama-samahin na natin si operating, investing, and financing. So, ito, comprehensive problem na siya about cash flows. So dito dapat i-take note into consideration mo lahat ng mga important na given. Kasi malilito ka kapag hindi mo inisa-isa. Isa-isahin mo siya. Kaya naman siyang isolve kahit mahaba yung problem, pero kailangan isa-isa lang talaga. Okay? So ang tanong sa atin, tatlo. How much should be the amount of net cash flow from operating, investing, and financing activities? Okay? And promise, kapag nakakita ka ng problem na ganito sa exam mo, tapos nasagot mo siya lahat, fulfilling siya. Actually, tanong rin to sa auditing problem. Okay? Kasi sa auditing problem, di ba, straight problems ang ibibigay sa'yo. And maraming tanong sa isang grade. Ito yung example. Okay? So, game. Let's compute. Okay. So, first question. How much should be the amount of net cash flows from operating activities? So, dito sa operating activities, either gumamit ka ng direct or indirect method. Pero, since walang way para makompute mo yung direct method, kasi wala namang binigay sa'yo. Walang binigay sa'yo na cash paid. Hindi mo makukuha yung cash paid. Hindi mo makukuha yung cash paid. Diba? Yung cash receive, wala din. Hindi mo rin makukuha. Binigyan ka lang ng mga balances nung amounts mo or nung mga accounts mo. And ang isang way para makompute mo yung operating cash flow mo is indirect. Paano pag indirect? Net income and then adjust for non-cash expenses and non-cash income. And then, tsaka ka mag-a-adjust for your current asset and current liability, yung increases and decreases. So, ang gawin mo natin, punta muna tayo dun sa mga non-current asset and liability natin. Yun muna. Tingnan mo muna kung ano yung mga transaction doon. Okay? So, first, current asset, accounts receivable. So, si accounts receivable mo, ay sorry, medyo lumipat ata siya. Okay. So, si ayan. Si accounts receivable mo, 83,200 and nagka-credit ka for allowance for doubtful accounts of 13,300. Therefore, ang naging increase ngayon, yan, ang naging increase. Kasi ang sabi sa problem, these are the net changes na. So, ito na yung increase or decrease. Okay? So, di ba, decrease mo, debit, credit, and yung makukuha mong balance, yun ang change mo. So, ang change daw ni accounts receivable for the year, nagka-debit siya ng 83,200 and nagka-credit siya from allowance for doubtful accounts ng 13,300. Therefore, ang increase ng AR mo ay 69,900. Okay? So, increase, tandaan mo to, increase ng AR. Next, inventory. Inventory, nag-increase ka ng 74,200. So, increase din si inventory. Prepaid expense. May prepaid expense, credit. Nakita mo, credit siya. Yung change niya. Therefore, kung credit siya, bumaba si prepaid expenses mo. Kasi di ba ang normal balance ng current asset mo na prepaid expense is debit. Di ba? Eh, credit siya. Therefore, bumaba siya. Nag-decrease. Okay? O, tapos na tayo kay current asset. Okay na si current asset. Ito si investment. Ano to? Non-current asset. O, for investing activities natin yan. Next, plant and equipment. Okay, plant and equipment is investing activities rin kasi non-current asset. Okay? Accounts payable. Dito tayo kay accounts payable. Si accounts payable is current liabilities. Ano nangyari kay accounts payable? Nag-debit. Nag-debit. Ano ang normal balance ni accounts payable? Credit, di ba? Credit. So kung nag-debit siya, meaning nabawasan siya. So nag-decrease si accounts payable ng 80,700. Okay? Next, accrued liability. Si accrued liability mo, ng current liabilities mo rin yan. Ano nangyari? Nagka-credit ng 21,500. Therefore, normal balance ng accrued liabilities is credit. So, nag-increase siya. Okay? Normal balance ng asset, debit. Normal balance ng liability, credit. Okay. So, ngayon, pwede na ba tayong mag-compute ng ating cash flow from operating? Hindi pa. Alamin muna natin yung mga non-cash expenses and non-cash income. Okay, dito tayo sa baba pupunta. Okay? Ayan. So alamin mo, meron ba sa given about sa non-cash expenses? Unang-una dyan, depreciation. Okay? So ang depreciation natin, saan mo yan makukuha? Yung depreciation natin, basahin natin yung yung problem. Ayan. 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 Accumulated depreciation, nakita mo dito? Accumulated depreciation. Accumulated depreciation, may credit ka na 130,000. Ano ba ang normal balance ni accumulated depreciation? Di ba credit? Kasi against asset siya, di ba? Contra asset ito. So kung credit siya, and credit dito, nag-increase yung accumulated depreciation mo. And kapag nag-increase ang accumulated depreciation mo, nag-increase din si depreciation mo. Okay? Kung nag-increase si accumulated depreciation, nag-increase din si depreciation, syempre, by 130,000. Kaya ka nagkaroon ng credit kay accumulated depreciation. Hindi man nakalagay dito na may depreciation, pero nakalagay naman na may accumulated. May change sa accumulated na 130. Therefore, included din. So therefore, ang depreciation natin for the year is how much? 130K. Take note of that, ha? And ano pa? Ano pa yung pwede mong idagdag? Meron rin sa given natin na major repairs of 33,000 to the equipment. Ito, ayan. To the equipment were debited to accumulated depreciation account during the year. So meaning, na-debit daw siya sa accounts accumulated depreciation din. No assets were retired during 2020. So therefore, magkano yung depreciation mo na total? Idadagdag mo si 33. Ayan, idagdag natin si 33 dito. Magkano na yung total depreciation mo? Ang total depreciation mo now will be 163,000. Okay. Take note dyan sa total depreciation ng 163,000. Meron pa ba na non-cash expenses? Meron pa. Meron pang non-cash expenses. Bukod kay depreciation. Di ba? Ang mga normal kasi na non-cash expenses natin, andyan si depreciation. Andyan si losses. Diba? Yung mga losses mo from sale of assets. No, may mga losses ka. Lahat yan non-cash. Okay? Andyan si bad debts. Andyan si bad debts. Sorry. Ayan. Andyan si bad debts. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin, maghanap tayo ng mga losses. May losses ba? Meron. On January 2, ito. On January 2, 2020, marketable securities classified as available for sale, costing 121, were sold for 155. Ay, hindi pala to loss. Gain pala to. Pero yung gain niya, ito, 155 tsaka 121. So therefore, kung gain siya, magkano yung gain natin? 34,000. Yung 155 natin, deducta natin ng 121. So therefore, may gain ka na 34,000. Papasok rin yan kay profit or loss mo. Pero yung gain mo na to, may lumabas ba na cash? Wala, kasi gain lang nga siya. So therefore, i-adjust natin din to mamaya kay net income. So therefore, lagyan natin ng start to. Yung mga i-adjust natin kay net income. So yung gain natin, yung depreciation natin, yan. Itong mga changes natin sa current asset and liability, lagyan natin yan ng star. Ayan, kasi lahat yan, i-adjust natin kay net income mamaya. Okay? So next, may gain. May loss ba? Meron. May loss ka rin na i-report. Anong loss? Etong next given. The wholly owned subsidiary reported a net loss for the year of 20,000. The parent recorded the loss. So, ni-record daw ni parent yung loss. And wholly owned subsidiary siya. Therefore, kung magkano yung loss na ni-report ni subsidiary, yun rin yung i-report natin na loss. So, magkakaroon ka ng, ano, magkakaroon ka ng investment loss. Gets? So, pag nagkaroon ka ng investment loss, loss pa rin yan, di ba? Worth 20,000. So, therefore, kailangan i-adjust mo siya doon sa net income mo kasi yung loss na yan, na-reflect pa rin siya sa profit or sa net income mo. Therefore, dapat i-adjust mo siya. Okay? O, yun. Pwede na tayo mag-compute ngayon ng net cash flows from our operating activities. So, magsimula muna tayo kay net income. So, si net income, 327,000. Okay, lagyan natin dito. Net income, 327,000. Ano yung i-depreciate? Ano yung idadagdag mo? Non-cash expenses. Ano yung mga non-cash expenses? Depreciation worth 163,000. So, i-add mo kasi non-cash expenses. Next, gain or losses kasi mga non-cash expenses and income yun. Ano yung loss natin? Ito, yung 20,000 na loss from our investment. So, dapat i-add din natin siya. Next, gain. Gain on sale of, may gain on sale of available for sale securities tayo. Ito yung gain na na-compute natin. So, dahil gain siya, and hindi naman dapat siya kasama sa net income mo for you to compute your cash flow, so i-deduct mo si 32. So, net income plus non-cash expenses minus non-cash income. Okay? Next. Ano pa? Yun, changes na. Yung mga changes natin sa asset and liabilities natin. Current asset and liabilities. So first, unang change, si accounts receivable, increase in asset, inverse relationship, therefore, ima-minus mo si 69,600. So minus mo to, 69,900 pala. Okay? So next. Next naman, inventory. Si inventory mo, nag-increase din. Therefore, kung increase si current asset, inverse lang. So, mamaminus natin si 74,200. Okay? So, next naman, prepaid expense. Si prepaid expense natin, nag-decrease. Therefore, kung decrease siya, inverse. So, therefore, i-add natin si 17,800. Okay? Add natin si 17,000. Mahaba-haba siya. No? Ganun talaga kapag operating activities, mahaba talaga siya. Pero kapag nakuha mo naman siya, fulfilling siya. Okay, next naman, accounts payable. So, si accounts payable mo ay 80,700. Decrease. Ay, di ba ang current liabilities natin is direct. So, kung decrease siya, decrease rin ang gagawin natin. So, minus 80,700. Next, increase in accrued liabilities. Si accrued liabilities nag-increase siya. Therefore, direct increase din yung gagawin natin. 21,500. So, 21,500. Wala na tayong space. Okay? So, meron pa ba? Meron pa pala. Si deferred tax liability pala. Ito kasi si deferred tax liability. Ayan. Okay. Ayan. Nag-ano rin pala siya, nag-decrease rin pala si deferred tax liability natin. So kung decrease siya, yan, kasi credit balance ang normal balance nito, therefore nag-decrease siya kasi nag-debit, so direct lang, ima-minus natin si 15,500. So yan, okay na. Ito yung kailangan natin. Ayan. So therefore, magkano yung operating activities natin or net cash flows from operating activities? So compute nyo lang yan, yung total na yan, 34, 74, 17,8, 15,5, Yan, 8,700 and 21,500. That's 275,000. So therefore, ang operating activities natin, ang sagot natin is letter boy, 275,000. Okay? So mahaba siya pero pag nakuha mo siya, okay, ulit, fulfilling siya. Okay? So ang amount natin is 275,000. So punta naman tayo ngayon kay net cash flow from investing activities. So ito, mas konti na lang to. Kasi lagi naman operating yung madami. Kasi di ba, operating naman is normal talaga na ginagawa ng company. And itong investing activities natin, hindi siya frequent. Ba? Yung frequency niya is more often na isa-isa lang, di ba? Yung mga ganyan transaction for your investing. Okay? So first, tingin muna tayo sa mga non-current assets. So unang non-current asset natin is C. Sino ba? Ayan. Si marketable securities classified as available for sale. Di ba ano natin to? Non-current asset. And ano yung cash inflow natin galing sa kanya? Yung 155. Kasi, yun yung proceeds natin nung nagbenta tayo. So therefore, 155 din ito. Okay, so may outflows. May iba pa ba tayong inflow? Wala na. Wala tayong ibang inflow. Wala na. Okay? Ito si investment naman dito, kaya siya nagkaroon ng credit na 20,000, meaning nabawasan siya. Yun yung loss natin kanina. Di ba? Yun yung loss natin. Okay? Kapag nagbawas ka kasi, magbabawasan na rin yung investment amount mo. Okay? Wala naman tayong na-receive doon. So, 155,000. May mga nabawas ba? Meron. Ano yung mga nabawas? Unang-una, payment of 33,000 to the equipment. So, equipment is a non-current asset. And related tong payment or yung cash outflow mo na to, it's a non-current asset. So, therefore, investing activities yan. Yung 33,000. Kasi related siya sa non-current asset. Okay? Next, ano pang outflow? Meron pa. Yung isang outflow natin is acquisition. Acquisition of plant and equipment. Saan nanggaling si acquisition of plant and equipment? Ayan. Dito mo makikita. Nagka-debit ka ng 210,000 kay property, plant, and equipment. Meaning, kung bakit ka nagka-debit, tumaas siya. Ba't siya tumaas? Bumili ka. Therefore, kung bumili ka kay property, plant, and equipment, naglabas ka ng pera na 210,000. So, minus mo rin si 210,000. Okay? So, meron pa ba? Wala na. Yan na yung lahat ng investing activities natin concerning non-current assets. So therefore, ang net cash, receive ba? Hindi. Net cash use. So ang net cash use natin is 88,000. So ang sagot natin is alpha. Okay? The amount of net cash flows from investing activities. Okay? So next, how much should be the amount of net cash flows from financing activities naman? So kung financing naman, ito konti lang din to. Financing. Okay, so about non-current liabilities. So titingin ka lang sa non-current liabilities mo. Meron ka bang transaction about non-current liabilities? Meron. 8% serial bonds. Ayan, 80,000 for your serial bonds. Okay? So therefore, nagkaroon ka ng credit na 80,000 per year serial bonds. And yan, kapag ganon, non-current liabilities, inflow yan. Magiging inflow mo yan sa financing activities mo. So magdagdag tayo dito ng 80,000. Meron pa ba ibang transaction for your non-current liabilities? Tingnan natin. Meron pa. Ano? Yung payment ng dividend, itong 185,000. Di ba ang dividends paid, lalabas yan under, saan yung lalabas? Under financing activities. So therefore, magbabawas ka ng 185,000 din. Yan na ba lahat ng transaction natin? Yan na. Yan lang ang lahat ng transactions natin for your financing activities. Okay? So ang sagot natin is what? Net cash use of 105,000. So therefore, ang sagot natin is alpha. 105,000 negative. Okay? So ayan. Tapos na natin. Yung question 1 to 3. Mahaba lang siya. Madali lang ang investing at financing. Kailangan lang aware ka dun sa mga transaction na nakikita mo. Okay? Kailangan alam mo kung ano yung mga transaction na papasok kay investing, na papasok kay financing. And alam mo rin kung from this transaction may loss or may gain kasi makaka-apekto siya kanino kay operating activities. Diba? So kaya importante rin na babasahin mo yung buong given talaga. When it comes to straight problems na ganito, yun, magbabasa ka talaga ng buong problem din. Kasi nga, may mga transaction na, ayun, kailangan mong tingnan maigi. Ito pala, yung about sa accounts receivable of 16,200 and 19,400 were considered uncollectible and written off. Meaning, pag sinabing uncollectible and written off, naka-apekto ba siya sa cash mo? Hindi, di ba? Kapag nag-write off ka, anong recording mo? Kapag nag-write off ka, ang recording mo, AUA, AR. Di ba? Wala namang cash dyan sa transaction na yan. Okay? Wala ring income account dyan sa transaction na yan. Therefore, hindi siya naka-apekto sa net income. Hindi rin siya naka-apekto sa cash mo. So therefore, disregard mo lang to. Disregard mo lang tong given na to. Kasi it does not affect both your net income and your cash balances. Okay? So next problem. Ayan. Next problem, ito operating, investing, and financing din siya ulit. So tatlong tanong siya. Parang dito na tayo sa ano. Ayan, dito na lang tayo sa ano. Dito na lang tayo sa direct method. Okay? So para matuto naman kayo din ng direct method natin. Kapag straight problem, tapos yung operating activities natin, yung net cash flow from operating activities natin, kukumpitin natin using the direct method. Okay? Ayan. So ang tanong sa atin, apat. Apat ang tanong sa atin. Ayan. So ang tanong sa atin, net cash provided by operating activities, net cash provided or used by investing activities, cash received from customers, and total taxes paid. So dito, kapag direct method ang gagamitin mo, all about cash receipt, cash receipts, and cash payments ka. So magkakompute ka ng cash receipts and cash payment. Pero, ang binigay sa'yo, statement of financial position. Ang statement of financial position natin, or yung mga balances natin dyan, ay based on your accrual accounting. And kapag accrual, kailangan pagpitin mo yung cash basis niya. Okay? So first, ano ba ang kadalasang cash receipts sa operating natin? Di ba yung mga collection natin ng accounts receivable? Di ba? Paano mo kuha yung collection ng accounts receivable? So, magandang way is for you to do a T account. So, gawa ka lang ng T account dun kay AR mo. Okay? Gawa ka T account kay AR. So, ano yung mag-i-increase ng AR amount mo? First is sales. Magkano? 7 million. So, magkakaroon ka ng debit na 7 million. Ano yung beginning balance ni AR? 180,000. So, lagay natin dito, 180,000. Then, madadagdagan ng sales. Ano yung makakapagpabawas kay AR? Ang makakapagpabawas kay AR is yung collections. Pero yun yung hinahanap mo. So, para makuha mo siya, ang ending balance mo kasi kay AR is 300,000. So, lagay mo dito si ending balance, 300,000. So, para makuha mo siya, work back. Okay? So, kapag nag-work back ka, 180,000 plus 7 million is 7,180,000. And 300,000 na lang yung natira. So, magkano yung na-collect mo or nabawas kay AR? That's 6,880,000. Okay? So, that 6,880,000 will form part of your collections. So, yan yung cash receipts mo from your accounts receivable. So, dito, lagay natin yan. Ayan, 680,000. 6,880,000 pala. So, okay. So, ngayon naman, punta tayo sa cash outflow. So, ito sa cash outflow, ayan, marami sa cash outflow. Una, punta ka sa suppliers mo. Diba? Sa suppliers mo, yun ang karaniwan na binabayaran mo ng cash. So, saan mo yan makikita? Sa accounts payable. Okay? Sa accounts payable naman, paano mo siya nakikita? Gawa ka ulit ng T-account for accounts payable. Yan yung madaling way para makompute mo siya. Gawa ka lang ng T-account. So first, kailangan mo muna yung beginning balance ni accounts payable mo. And anong normal balance niya? Credit, di ba? So si accounts payable, lagyan natin ng 80,000. Beginning balance. Ano yung magdadagdag kay accounts payable? Purchases, di ba? Purchases. So, tingnan mo sa problem kung may anything about purchases. Wala. Wala rin about purchases. So, kailangan kuhanin mo si purchases. Okay? So, paano mo makukuha si purchases? Punta ka ngayon kay yung formula natin kung paano makuha yung purchases. Yung cost of sales. So, ngayon pupunta naman tayo kay cost of sales. Naaalala niyo yung formula sa merchandising na dito ko nang lalagay sa gitna. Yung merchandise, inventory beginning, okay? Then add mo si purchases, di ba? And then magkakaroon ka ng CGAS or cost of goods available for sale. Then dideduct mo yung ending inventory. Then magkakaroon ka ng cost of goods sold. So dyan, from that formula, mag-work back tayo para makuha natin si purchases. Okay? Ang merchandise inventory beginning natin, ito. Given. 400,000. So si 400,000 lalagay mo dito. Purchases, yan ngayon kinukuha natin. Okay? Merchandise inventory ending, 320,000. So lalagay mo dito, 320,000. Deduct. Ang cost of goods sold natin, 5,960,000. Okay? Yan. So work back. Kailangan mo lang mag-work back. Ayan, I read. Sorry. Ayan. So si 5,960,000 pala natin, meron tayong adjustment sa kanya kasi, ayan, may additional data tayo. Sa additional data natin, the loss on sale was incorrectly charged to cost of sales. So meron pa lang na incorrect na charge sa cost of sales. So yung cost of sales mo dito, hindi lahat yan cost of sales. Nagka-loss ka na nilagay mo sa cost of sales. Therefore, dapat bawasan mo siya ng loss na nilagay mo. Paano mo malalaman? Ito yung loss niya. So during the year, equipment was sold for 200,000. The equipment originally cost 290,000. Yan, 290,000. And has a book value of 240. So 240 book value plus yung purchase selling price na 200,000, therefore may 40,000 ka na loss. So 40,000 yung dapat i-adjust mo sa COGS mo. So to si COGS, babawasan mo siya ng yan, bawasan mo siya ng 40. So magiging 5,920 na lang siya. Okay? Then, tsaka ka mag-work back. Okay, so 5,920 plus 320. So therefore, may cost of goods available for sale ka na 6,240,000. Paano mo makuha si purchase? I-minus mo lang si beginning inventory. And makukuha mo is 5,840,000. So that's the amount of your purchase. Yan yung amount na ilalagay mo dito. Okay? So lagay mo si 5,840,000 kasi purchases increases your accounts payable. So magkano naman yung payment mo? So para makuha mo, kailangan lang alamin mo kung magkano yung ending balance ng accounts payable. And the ending balance of accounts payable is 150,000. Therefore, working back, how much yung na-decrease kay AP para makuha yung ending balance na 150,000? That's 5,770,000. Okay? So therefore, your payments of accounts payable is 5,770,000. Iyan yung ilalagay mo na pagbawasan dito. 5,770,000. Okay? So meron pa mga ibang transaction? Meron pa. Ano pa? Payment of income taxes. So ito naman, payment of income taxes. Madali na lang to kasi titingin ka lang kay income tax payables and income tax expenses mo. So income tax payable. Okay, income tax payable. Beginning balance, so gawa ka na lang ng ng T-account ulit. So income tax payable, ITP. Okay. Ang normal balance niya, credit kasi payable. So ang beginning balance natin is 330,000. Anong madadagdag kay income tax payable? Siyempre, yung income tax expense. So saan mo makikita yan? Dito, income tax expense of 102,400. So yun yung madadagdag kay payable mo. Ano naman yung magbawas kay income tax payable mo? Siyempre, yung payment mo for income tax. Yun yung hinahanap nga natin. So kailangan natin yung ending balance. Ang ending balance ng income tax payable natin is 290,000. So to compute for the ending balance of 290,000, magkano yung total na binayaran natin na income tax na ibabawas natin kay income tax payable? That is 142,400. Okay? So si 142,400, yan ang ilalagay natin na deduction din. Kay 6,880,000. Next, meron pa ba? Meron pa. Payment of selling expenses. Ayan. Si selling expenses na 500,000. And si administrative expense na 160,000. May adjustment pa ba tayo sa kanila? Meron. Kaya titingin ka rin sa additional data. Ang sabi, all depreciation expense were in the selling expenses category. Erroneously, nalagay si depreciation expense kay selling expense. So therefore, hindi lahat to selling expense. So bawasan mo siya ng yung amount ng depreciation. Magkano ba yung amount ng depreciation? Ayan, sorry. Ayan. Yung depreciation mo, ito, sorry. Ayan. Yung depreciation mo, from 250, accumulated depreciation, naging 270. Therefore, nagkaroon siya ng 20,000 na depreciation for the year. So, lahat daw yon na-record kay selling expenses. Therefore, ibawas mo yon kay selling expenses. Okay, so wait. Ayan, sorry. So ano pala siya? Meron pang ibang naka-apekto kay depreciation or kay accumulated depreciation. Ano? Di ba nagbenta ka kanina ng equipment? Nung nagbenta ka ng equipment, nagbawas ka rin nung accumulated depreciation. So gawa tayo T-account kay accumulated depreciation. Ayan. Ang beginning balance niya, credit ang normal niya, di ba? 250,000. Okay? Tapos, magkano yung madadagdag dyan? Yung depreciation mo. Okay? Which is yung hinahanap nga natin. And ano naman yung mababawas dyan? Ang nabawas dyan is yung accumulated depreciation related dun sa equipment na binenta mo. Magkano yung accumulated depreciation dun? Ang original cost niya, 290. Tapos ang book value na lang at the time of sale is 240. Therefore, may 50K na accumulated depreciation yung equipment na yun. Therefore, ibabawas mo na yun kay accumulated depreciation. Kung ending balance na accumulated depreciation mo is 270,000. Therefore, working back, how much? How much yung depreciation expense mo for the year? So that's 130,000. Okay? So yan yung depreciation expense mo. Yan rin yung depreciation expense mo na okay, wait. 200 sorry, that's 70,000 pala. Sorry. That should be 70,000. Dito na natin lagay. 70,000. That's 70,000 pala dapat. Yung 70,000 na yan yung ima-minus mo kay kanino? Kay selling expense mo na 500. Minus 70 or minus mo yung depreciation. So magkano na lang talaga yung selling expenses mo? 430,000. So yan yung ima-minus mo dito. 430,000. And minus mo si administrative na 160,000. Meron pa bang ima-minus? Meron pa. Ang ima-minus mo si interest expense. Okay? Yung interest expense naman, given na sa atin. Ang interest expense is, ayan, 60,000. So, meron pa bang expenses or mga cash payments? Wala na. So, yun, 60,000 na lang. So, minus 60,000. Okay, so pwede natin i-compute kung magkano yung net cash provided by our operating activities. So, ang net cash provided by our operating activities is how much? So, from that very long computation, ang net cash provided by our operating activities is 317,600. So, ang sagot natin is delta. 317,600. So, this will be our last problem na for the night kasi mahaba talaga siya kasi statement of cash flows siya. Lalo na kapag comprehensive problem, so statement of cash flows. Okay? So, konti na lang. So, next, net cash provided by investing activities. So, ito, konti na lang itong investing activities kasi, ayan, ano lang ba ang provided investing activities natin? Isa lang, di ba? Ang investing activities lang natin, ito, yung purchase, ay, yung sale na equipment, yun lang yung investing activities natin. And magkano yun? Nabenta natin for 200. Therefore, yun lang ang net cash provided by our investing activities. So, ang sagot natin is void. Okay? Next, cash received from customer. Ito, nasagot na rin to kanina. Magkano? Itong 6,880,000. So, sagot natin letter A. Next, total taxes paid. Nasagot na rin to kanina. Magkano yung total taxes paid natin? Yung 142,400. Okay? So, yan. That's it. Tapos na pala natin. So, okay. So, may mga question lang na about this sa mga na-complete na natin. So, okay. Okay, so that concludes our statement of cash flow. Discussion and problem solving about statement of cash flow. So, sana, if you have questions, you can chat if you have questions about, ayan. Ayan. Kapag may mga questions kayo, you can just chat para masagot agad natin. Ayan. So, we've reached the end of our discussion. So, I hope sana marami kayong natutunan about statement of cash flows. I know, when it comes to straight problem, mahaba talaga siya. Pero kapag nasagot mo siya, it is fulfilling naman. So, and thank you for listening, guys. And thank you for staying. Kahit na konti na lang tayo nag-stay dito. So, my best wishes are with you guys, especially during this time of pandemic na kahit online, kailangan natin mag-aral talaga for us to prepare well for the CPA for exam. I know you've worked really hard and I am confident that you can make it. Believe that you can and you will always be happy here. So stay relaxed lang, focus, always give your best sa everyday na pag-review nyo. And I have no doubt that you will make it through. Okay? So once again, all the very best. Happy studying!